Nico Harrison needs to be fired right now on today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
On 5.
Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
You are Locked On the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of your co-hosts, Isaac Harris, covering the Mavs for the last 10 years, alongside my good friend Nick Angstead. And today I'm joined by the one and only from the great, slightly biased YouTube channel and playback legend, slightly biased.
Coming in hot, huh?
Yeah, I think Nico Harrison should be fired tonight.
Well, let me defend him. Nico's gotten a bad rep here, and the reality is he's one of the best. There's nothing you can say at this point, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, going into this game is like, all right, we got the post-game pod tonight. Starts off first quarter. They don't even hit 30 points again. 24 points in the first quarter.
How many quarters have they scored 30 points this year?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I was tracking it a few back early last week, and it just got honestly too depressing. They were at first it was like 5 out of 20 something quarters they had hit 30 points, and then I was like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore.
I'm just assuming it's the lowest.
I would assume so too. I was taking notes on the game, and I have different notes and stuff on the game, but then the game ends, and I'm just like, I just feel like we're all kind of collectively, and it feels like a nuclear fallout zone of whatever fans are left from the disaster that happened are just kind of roaming around this zone. It's like, all right, are you still in? I'm still watching, and there's just no sign of life. There's just no sign. There's no hope now. The remaining fans, the remaining people that are left, have just lost the desire to live anymore in this fandom. And I just feel like instead of the details right now or running through stats, it's just what's next? What's the next move?
Yeah, I mean, this tonight is, we raged a couple nights ago when they lost the Pelicans. Tonight is not a night you should ever have as a fan 2 weeks into the season after you've been promised you're a win-now team. I'm in there. I'm streaming the game. We're watching. We're laughing. We're having a fun time. We don't care at all that the Mavericks are getting blown out by this Grizzlies team that has just been dead men walking now this whole season. Ja Morant wants out. I was joking around calling him Joy Morant on the stream because it looks like he found his joy tonight, and that joy was playing the Dallas Mavericks, of course. This Grizzlies team has not been good this year, and the Mavs here's the problem. Even in the games they've won, they don't look good. There's really no spinning it at all. Sometimes you try to come in with the positive. It's there's a couple things they've done well. And there are times where I watch this team, I'm like, if you throw Kyrie into this mix, I could see how this team could be good. Not contending level, which immediately just makes it a failure, right? But good. I can see how a competent guard, a real competent guard, would elevate this group quite a bit. But there's no guarantee that's even going to happen. No guarantee Kyrie's even 50% of who he was last year? I mean, he's coming off an ACL injury. That's a difficult thing to come back from. And yeah, I mean, never game 9 of the season, we should be coming on here after getting blown out by the Grizzlies. You should be like, what just happened? That's unacceptable. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, that's who this team is. They're 2-7. This is already reaching unsalvageable territory for me because I don't think they're good enough to give themselves a runway. In years past, they've started slow. I don't know if they've ever started this slow, but they've always had, one, Luka, and then two, just you felt as though come February they would turn it around. It doesn't feel like that's going to happen at all with this group. And I agree, it's so bad. Even if you were a little pessimistic about this team, which most people were, I thought this team would be pretty decent. I thought that there was a chance they'd be decent. Obviously, the injuries happen and stuff, but even pessimistic people, there's no way you thought it'd be this bad. There's literally no way. No chance you thought this team would straight up look like, if not the worst team in the NBA, right there with the Pacers, who are dead pretty much, and the Wizards and Nets. That's in the category they're in. Seriously, that's where they are at. There's no way you would have thought that was going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. This is so bad. that I think I think there has to be some pressure to do something. I don't know what it is, but man, this is really bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty close with Bobby, and Bobby took the under on the Mavs this year, and I was giving him a lot of heck about it before the season. I was like, come on, like take the over, and like he was pretty down on the Mavs, but even he will admit right now, like he didn't think it was gonna be this bad.
Yeah.
And I just think I think it's reached the levels now to where, like, does DeMont care? Does he care? And not meaning to like rhyme here to pull out a rap. Does he care, and is he aware, like, of how bad it is? And I've over the years on this podcast, I've tried to be, or for a lot of years on this pod, I was connected to the Mavs in some capacity. I was freelancing for them. Then, for 5 or 6 years, obviously hopped on board with the Mavs in official capacity and stuff. So I always like kind of watched my words of like, all right, how harsh I was going to be. And even after the Luka trade, disagreed with it, hated the trade, asked Nico, why shouldn't you be fired? And all of that. At that point, I was like, well, you kind of got to like ride the Nico experience out at this point. Like he made the trade. So you got these players, you kind of just got to like see what happens over the next year or so. And talked to Nico at media day. He clearly didn't like my question. We kind of hashed that out and all that, but it doesn't matter now. Like you're losing you've lost so many fans. The state of the team is so bad right now that this isn't just, hey, a lack of roster construction. This isn't just injuries. This is, tonight you saw like a defeated team from the beginning. Like, yeah, it feels like they don't have like the effort, but like kind of like the joy, the soul out there in a weird way. And that's the equation of, hey, you're losing games, you're lacking the talent. And now that's like the third piece of the equation of like big changes coming for you is that, hey, you're kind of just don't care anymore. And that's what you saw the players tonight. And it's tough times right now. Something big's got to change.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. The team just looks defeated out there. That was one of the things last year where it was like, we'd come on here after the games, they'd be terrible, they would lose, and it would just be like, yeah, Kessler Edwards started at the 5 tonight, but they played hard. They just don't have anybody. So I admire the effort that they played with. This is like the whole organization. It's just rotten to the core right now. And I mean, something has to give, Well,
to your point, it's like, you mentioned the record a while ago, and it's like, it's so early in the season. Like sometimes you see this happening with teams or franchises and stuff, like later on the season, it's like, oh man, the past like months of this season, they've had all these injuries over the months, and there's been different things that's happened to them over the course of a season, to where you could see in like after the trade deadline, it's like, man, that team just really doesn't care anymore. They really just want to like lose games at this point. They haven't even played 10 games in a season this season. Like they haven't even gotten to the 10 game mark. And they look like a team that is just like, hey, so when's that 82nd game again?
Yeah.
Hey, they're texting some people. It's like, so have you booked the Cancun like villa yet? Or we're in November. All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if this is salvageable at all. Like I don't even know if a 10th seed run is even possible at this point, as crazy as that is. That's just what it feels like.
I know. That's, yeah. Let's take a quick break.
Dude, this was an easy start to the season.
Oh, no. I mean, that's you can't even look at it and say, well, we've had the injuries and we have been on the road for a lot of the start of the season. And look at our strength of schedule. We played all these like super hard teams. No, it's been the opposite.
It's been what? You played 8-9 games now, and it's been 6 at home and 1 at a neutral site.
Yeah.
So,
and shocking, you haven't won on the road yet. So
you have not won away from home, and your 2 wins are a comeback win against this Raptors team that might be okay, and a barely scraping by a horrifically bad Pacers team.
Yeah. You're like a Neesmith play away from being 1-8.
That's true. You're a
1-8 right
wide
now.
open 3 away. Oh my God, can you imagine?
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come back talking about how to fix the Mavs. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at DoorDash. DoorDash, the NBA season is riding right along. DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. Slightly, do you DoorDash? Do you get food delivered to you?
Do you want me to tell the truth, or do you want me to make the ad happy?
In a perfect world that you got DoorDash sent to you, what's like a restaurant nearby you'd like to get DoorDashed?
Anytime I DoorDash, I like getting something I would not get otherwise. So it's typically some type of Asian spot or wings.
Let's go. So pay way it is. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform for the NBA. They're celebrating with something called the bag drop. Basically, when a player scores 50 points in a game, heck, if a team can score 50 points in a half, Dallas only scored 51 in the half tonight. DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. So next time someone goes off for 50, use the promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off DoorDash with Dash Pass. Plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash members only, 50% up. God bless. $10 a day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms applied. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. This podcast is also brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. FanDuel has been longtime friends of the pod. The NBA is, it's happening right now. If you want to put money on the Mavs, there's a code or there's some numbers and stuff that you can call for help. But if you want to do that, you can do that at FanDuel because this is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you miss the start of a game, want to ride the hot hand, maybe it's Cisse for the Mavs. FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets. We need that. Win your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Oh, I'm here with the one and only slightly biased. My God.
All that hotline, folks.
So here's the thing with you gotta make a move soon if you're Dallas. And I'm gonna make a prediction right now.
Okay.
I think Nico has a different he's not with the Dallas Mavericks in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I think it's that bad. Like it was lining up for Nico to any question I've gotten on a Q&A or anything with during the week through our subtext, our Locked On Mavs Insider program, sign up for that. I've always said, hey, if this season isn't a long playoff run, I think Nico gets fired next summer. Mm-hmm. I don't even think he lasts to the end of the season at this point. I think the way it's headed, the way they look tonight, the aura around the team in the organization right now, talking to some people left and right on some things. It just doesn't like you just extended Jason Kidd. The players have a relationship with Jason Kidd in a lot of other situations. It would be the head coach, which I could be wrong, but this feels like something bigger than Kidd right now.
Oh, Kidd getting canned without Nico getting canned would be catastrophic. I mean, I'm serious. That would be so bad. 2 weeks would be crazy to me. My big question is this, and I'm interested because Nick has said before that apparently Dumont says he's a fan of the show, which I always said was a threat, was said to threaten way more likely than not. But anyways, do they, like you asked this earlier, do they care? This will be an interesting sort of litmus test here. One, do they care? And two, who do they have with them behind closed doors and meetings? Who do they have in their ear? Who do they have talking to them every morning? Because if it's somebody who knows what they're talking about, if it's somebody who is worked in basketball, and somebody who's in touch at all with things going on in the city, it's every morning, hey, this is bad. this is really bad, but you do have a get out of jail free card. I don't know how quick this fan base will be to forgive you. I don't know if they'll ever even really accept you, to be completely honest with you. But you can gain back quite a bit of trust if you fire Nico Harrison. And that's just the truth. And that's been, in my opinion, that's been in their back pocket. And I think they know that. And I do agree with you. I thought if they didn't have a good season, it was the easiest thing they could have done is fire Nico Harrison in the summer. But yeah, 2-7, and you're not even remotely competitive. And it's not even fun. Like, it's not even enjoyable. It's not like Hoops going out there and balling out. So you have that to sell to people. Like, it's all just terrible. And I do think that's a quick thing. My question is this, though. How often does a GM get fired mid-season? That does not feel like a very common thing to have happen. I think for a multitude of different reasons, because it's really hard to make a change like that mid-season. But not that I'm like advocating against it. I just don't know how often it actually happens.
Yeah, I don't feel like you see it very often. I think you see head coaches, obviously moved. You don't see like assistants let go much. I don't feel like it's not like an NFL. NFL, it's like, oh, their offense is struggling. Well, they're changing the play calling duties to whoever, the head coach, or they fire their offensive coordinator midseason or something like that. Like, I could be wrong. I don't think we're going to get hey, the Mavs, fired Jay Triano in mid-season, after 10 games. I don't think we're getting that. And I hear also of like, okay, well, if they fire Nico, then that's not changing anything on the court. Like, it's still the same players and all that. I think it's more of, it's kind of two things for why you need to fire Nico right now. It is what you said with the fans. Like, it is one of the only things right now that is that would start the healing process, that you just go ahead and eliminate that. Your season sucks. Everybody is in like a deep, dark place right now with this team. That would be the first thing of like, oh, like there might be a celebration in Victory Park if that happens. Yeah. But also why you need to do it now is you can't let the same guy who set this disaster up try to fix it. So that's the thing is like, if you let him go now, then you can start okay, well, whoever we bring in, if you hand it over to his assistant general manager, Matt Riccardi, or you bring in somebody new, or whatever it is, then you can't let that same guy try to rebuild what he broke. And that's why you got it. And you got it when you start trying to rebuild this thing or revamp this thing. I think it should have happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Like, because I was going to ask you the question, like, what do you think would come first? Like a Klay trade? It's just sort of like a stopgap Band-Aid thing. Like, we made a move. The team wasn't vibing. Like, we did something to try and bolster the team, or a GM firing. And my thing with GM firings and even coaching firings has always been this. I've never understood it in sports. If it ever gets to a point a month into a season or a month and a half into a season where you're like, it's time to fire this guy, why not do it in the offseason? Like, if you're already on that type of feeling where it's like, we'll see what the first few weeks like you're obviously not committed to this person. So part of that is why I'm nervous. I don't know if it would happen. But at this point, again, it really comes back to this for me. Is like, if they have people in that organization who are actually speaking with them, giving them advice, because my longstanding belief is I do not think the Dumonts or Allisons care about basketball really at all. But it's just a business tool for them to do whatever they need to do. And by the way, that doesn't necessarily have to be a terrible thing if you have owners who are more hands-off, because that means you could have owners who are like, hey, I'll throw money into this. It helps me. It makes me money. It's a good tool. And I'll let people who know what they're doing run the show. Like, that could be a good thing. But so far, it's been bad.
But you got to hire the right people that know what they're actually doing.
Right. And hey, look, I'll throw them some bail. Like, there wasn't any reason to think you just bought this team. People are saying, hey, Nico's good at his job. You're looking at this group and you're like, oh, he does look good at his job. Like, they're winning games. People seem to think he's done a good job. The thing is, though, the moment the Luka trade gets brought up, you should immediately, as the owner, step in and be like, whoa. That cannot happen in a million years. So that was their first big, giant mistake. But if they have anybody who knows what they're talking about, they would tell them tomorrow, like, dude, you do have to just rip this Band-Aid off. You have to. If there's anybody in there that has any say.
Yeah, I wonder what Rick Welts is thinking right now. Like, hey, this is a little bit different than Golden State years.
I do wonder if he's just like, hey, man, I don't want to be involved. Stadium, keep me out of any of this.
Yeah.
This is messy.
It's like, somebody else can take the. Can I bring in Bob Myers for basketball?
Well, what's he at now?
Man, I feel like I saw him take over another thing the other day. I'm like, dang, is he like the ultimate guy that teams try to bring in right now? And
was it in a group that had like 12 different teams or something?
Honestly, yes, I do feel like it was like that. You mentioned the Klay thing. I do feel like that could be the first step. I think that they try to, like, if Dumont, which, hey, Patrick Dumont, you're watching the show, fire Nico right now.
Yeah, dude, you have to, man. I'm sorry. Like, there's no coming back from this.
Before Keyshawn George even puts up another 25 on you, just you gotta do it soon. I wanted to say, hey, Nico won't last until next Friday, but I'll give it 2 weeks. But it could. What I'm afraid of is like they're gonna try some small trade first to like kind of jolt everything, like a Klay for like Caldwell Pope just because they just played him. Something like that. It's like, all right, we got it. We're just swapping out some, shooters here. KCP's a little better defender. And it's like, just kind of giving a jolt to the team. And it's like, okay, well, this is like you're in a sinking ship and you're just like got a bucket and you're just like trying to just throwing water over into the ocean as you sink. And like, that's not going to fix it.
That's kind of what I'm wondering is because there were some reports today, and I don't know. Usually there's a handful of guys with Mav stuff. This new regime, I don't know. I don't know what the case is anymore. That they were interested in looking around at shopping Klay. I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, if I'm Klay, I want out. Like, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I've got a couple years left. There are definitely
at this
teams
point.
out there.
I fully expect Klay to be gone before the deadline.
Oh, for sure. Klay being here would be either A, would be very shocking if Klay's just like, I want to stay here, don't trade me, or B, it means that there's no team in the league that wants him, which I don't think would be the case. I think there are teams out there that would definitely trade for Klay Thompson. But I don't know. I feel like a Klay trade would come first, personally.
Yeah, I do too. I think it would come before a Gafford trade, which, I mean, let's spend a few minutes on this game real quick. Gafford did re-injure his ankle tonight, didn't come back in the game. Or I guess he re-injured. It said it was just sore, or Gaff's just like, hey, I don't want to play in this game anymore.
Understandable.
Was there anything in this game that like stood out to you in a good way?
No.
Cool.
I'm gonna be real. There's that. I mean, Naji played well.
Naji and Cisse in the fourth, like the fact that Moose could come in and like his effort, it was kind of like the Josh Green days back in the day of like Josh Green is like, hey, you're really not that good, but you come in and try and it sticks out so much because you're actually trying. And Cisse coming in, it was like, all right, man, you're busting your butt out there and it's standing out so much because a lot of the other players just don't care right now.
Yeah. I mean, this
not taken away from him. Like he did well. It's just
right. Yeah. I mean, Cisse has played pretty admirably in his minutes for sure. I mean, we're already here with these two-way guys being stuff we talk about, man. Like it's insane.
I was laughing in the fourth whenever Mark and Harp start doing story time about Mark reading maps and getting a Rand McNally to know where he's going with map stuff, and he's bringing in Leslie and talking about their traveling days and I'm like, we're just fourth quarter, like we're 9 games into the season and we're already getting like Rand McNally road trip story times with Mark and Harp and Leslie, and like we're here. This is where we're at.
Well, that's why you hear people who cover teams for so long, like in a real professional manner. Us, we're professionals, but we dabble in the professional and casual mix. You guys are credentialed, not me. I'm completely.
Come on, you make money off YouTube.
True. Sometimes people say stuff like, dude, they're never going to get you credentialed now. I'm like, oh, that ship has sailed. There's no way.
I mean, at this point with Nico, I don't know who
it
you
would
would
just
be.
take one quick Twitter search and there would be just zero chance that I would be allowed in that building. But no, What were we even saying? Oh yeah, it's like these long time. You hear this with broadcasters stuff where like I kind of had to separate myself from fandom and to just get through seasons and stuff. It's stuff like this start where I'm like, there's no way I could be on a broadcast. There's no way I personally could be on a broadcast. I'd have to be. There'd have to be an apology every 25 seconds for something I said. And I couldn't even use the excuse of like, that's not who I am. Cause it's like, I just said it 2 minutes ago. So it is who I am.
I loved at one point where Mark was talking about Cisse's journey to the NBA. And it's great. It's awesome. And Harp was just like, yeah, man, that's what I like. I just like the storytelling, man. I love the stories. And I'm like, you don't like the basketball right now. So we're just like, I just like the storytelling.
I mean,
like,
getting to this, I can't believe we're at this point with a two-way guy already.
And I mean, they haven't even played 10 games. So, man, I don't really have anything else about this game, to be honest. Like,
I don't either. It sucks because I wish we could come on here after every game and do a Coop thing. Like a Coop should be 10, 15 minutes of the show every night. But it's like, well, Coop went 12 minutes without getting the ball this time and then 14 minutes this time. Like, it's hard to watch.
He just looks so uncomfortable. And it it kills me, man. I get obviously the NBA is different than college, and we know this. But it's like the Cooper Flagg that watched all those games at Duke and even going back and watch some of the Montverde stuff, and it's just like it just seemed like he was just playing a little more freer and fun, and yeah.
And it's a shame because people are going to call it excuses and stuff, but it sucks because I thought this was a great landing spot for him. It all made sense to me in my head that you get a few number one picks that you can pick the brain of, and guys who are still in theory in their prime are right on the outside of their prime. And Klay Thompson, you can pick the brain of him, and then you've got like they just fit his play style, which is why I never understood the immediately thrusting him into the point guard. Is because it's like, why? I don't think it doesn't make any sense at all. Like even if you could have played him at the 2 and that would have made more sense, but just to see this, man, I think part of it you have to step in because I can't imagine the locker room's in a good place.
Ooh,
can you? They're playing Marvin's room at a shoot around.
I saw your clip on that and I died laughing.
Marvin's room at shoot around is insane. Like that's insane.
That gets you hyped.
That's insane. Nobody picked up the Ox. I was like, what are we doing, guys? This is crazy. Who played this?
Naji's like, oh, dang it, guys. I just miss him.
I know you got Naji commenting on sad faces on Luka's post. You got Klay telling fans courtside he misses them. There's no way that locker room's in a good place. And if you're Coop and you're walking into this, it's got to be like, dude, what is this?
Yeah.
Like everyone here is just like, well, you got to feel a little like the odd man out where it's like everyone misses this one guy and I'm the new guy basically. And it's just like, I just think for Coop, you almost have to swoop in and just be like, hey, we're resetting this thing. Like, what you came into, we're sorry. We thought that it would work out a little bit better than this. We were going to let it ride out a little bit, but this is just so bad. We're resetting, and we're just building this thing around you.
Yeah, somebody's got to get in Dumont's ear and say, hey, you were handed.
It could be us.
You were handed a get out of jail free card in a way of getting Cooper Flagg. Like the Luka trade is gone, but you got this chance. This 1.8 chance, and you got a Cooper Flagg. You need to go get somebody that can run this franchise, run this organization that has experience running it while building around a young star, and somebody that is not hated by your franchise, like your fans. So I just hope at some point he comes to that realization of, all right, it's time to fully turn this page. I want to go out, bring somebody with experience in, somebody that's built around a young star before, hit the reset button, get assets and stuff coming in, and turn into like that. Keep J Kidd right now. Keep Kyrie, in my opinion. Like hold Kyrie without the rest of the year, I guess, if that's the case. And it's like become that like young fun team, that league pass team that everybody just like loves to watch because you're playing at such a fast pace with Cooper and PJ and just some of the young guys, whatever young assets you get back and stuff. So I wish that point would come. Yeah,
I mean if this does get through, I would agree with everything that you just said. It's
don't say about getting rid of Kyrie.
No, I listen. I
was waiting for the
Kyrie
but,
Irving.
and I was like,
No. I absolutely love Kyrie Irving. And what I would if hey, for some reason they watched the NBA 2K series I did where I rebuilt the team and won 12 championships. Spoiler alert. And they hired me. First thing I would do is I would go to Kyrie Irving and I would just lay out like, hey, we think it's best to maybe not bring you back this year. We're going to look at some AD trade packages. We're going to look at some Klay trade packages. You tell us what you want because you wanted to get traded here. You sign here. You sign on a pretty friendly deal. If you want to go somewhere else that gives you a better chance of winning before your career's over, then we'll happily work with you on that because we think you deserve that. But if you do want to stay, I don't think they should ever go out and just try to trade Kyrie Irving because I just think he's too important for this team for too many different reasons. But
I would love to go into next season with a new GM and Jason Kidd and Kyrie kind of like leading Coop.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm cool with kids staying. I really am.
At this point, yes. Like, he's extended all the stuff. I don't think he's the best coach in the world, but I think right now you need some relational stuff, and you need, it's bigger than Jason Kidd.
Yeah, it is. And I think, God, it's going to be really interesting. If they lose again tomorrow night or something to Washington and they're 2-9.
I want to say there's no way, but
I don't know. Because I wish we could get on here and tell you guys, like, hey, the 3-point numbers, this number, like, it's coming. Like, this sort of 7-2 stretch is on the way. There is not a single indicator that that's going to happen. None. Mm-mm. Like, if that happened, it would be a complete and total shock, right, at this point in time. So,
well, I think that's the thing. There's just no sign of it. Like, it's not like, hey, before the injuries, they were, this and this. And it's like, no, it wasn't that. Or it's not like, hey, what they're trying to build right now, man, that's proven to win titles. No, not really that either. Like, there's just so much stuff that like doesn't give you the hope with it. And I think that's the thing that's like struggling for the fans most, because it's not like well, if this happens, then man, and there's no if this, like, it's not that. What if the Mavs lose tomorrow night and Luka tweets out a picture of like the Washington Monument or something?
That'd be hilarious. I could not see him do that. I do
Does
wonder
Luka tweet after Nico's fired?
Ooh, great question.
Probably not. But his team's probably like, hey, do you want to?
That's an actual great question. I don't know.
Does Luka's team put up Luka billboards in Dallas after Nico's fired?
No, because then at that point, I think, hey, damage is done. The guy's gone. Like, let's not go scorched earth on the place that loved us.
I know it's 3 weeks away until they play the Lakers, and I think that's in LA. But can you imagine if the Lakers are coming to town like next week?
Do you think that what happens there has any effect on the Dumont's thinking?
Like what happens in LA?
Not the game. I'm saying what the Lakers and Luka are doing. Like, do you think they look at that and they're like, oh man, like you told me his calf was done. Like you told me that. I think
you have to, and like, there's just no way around it. You can't
what are
see
those meetings like. I have to wonder, like, what is happening? Like, what is going on behind closed doors with this team? Because if you're Nico, what do you say? What do you if someone if,
he's saying the same thing that he told everybody after the trade, and what he told me at media day when we stood there on that off the record conversation. I don't care to share. I mean, time will tell if I'm right, and it's just like, am I ready to reach out after some changes happen? I'm ready for that.
2-7. You think he'll ever, if he does get fired, you think there will ever be a sit down with anyone?
No.
Or does he just fade away and
no?
Maybe he goes back.
I think he fades away, and I mean, there's still a lot of players who really back him a lot.
He seems like a well-liked guy, and by all accounts, he's a nice dude. So, but just in terms of general managing a basketball team, he has failed, and it is time to go. There's been plenty of really nice guys who have been fired.
I'd say managing a basketball team and managing behind the scenes and stuff too. I think when you have a wake of bodies behind you and winning hasn't followed either.
Yeah, true.
I think it's beyond that. Like who works for that organization and is having a good time right now for the past, I don't know, 9 months?
Cannot be anybody. That would also be another thing. If they called me in ever and asked for consulting, I'd say whatever it is going on with Dirk, you have to fix that at once. Like if you don't have Dirk's seal of approval on everything, this fan base is going to have a hard time getting behind anything you do. Like imagine, like we're watching Dirk, and I know the Amazon studios in LA, so I think that has something to do with it. But Dirk's going to Lakers games and Luka games, and it's just like, dude, this is.
We got Dirk and Luka in a Lakers in practice facility doing a sit down interview. Like,
yeah, they've got the Lakers got welcome Dirk signs up. Like what? Come on, man.
All right, that's post-game show for the Grizzlies. Another post-game pod coming up on Saturday night after the Wizards game. Hopefully that's a big win. And we'll see what happens, what changes happens in Mavs land over the next few days and weeks. Slightly, thank you.
Man, Wizards tomorrow. That would be. I'm on Be Real. That would be funny.
Keyshawn George, baby.
Oh.